in your corner. Remember, you are working on your New Year's resolution. Who is in your corner? Who in your corner is building your 18% club support system? 18% of us with goals, dreams, and desires for 2026 will succeed. The rest, some are already dead. Some are on life support. And some are just using crutches to get there. And that's the 18%. If you were to listen to the news this morning, I would say to you, good morning. Yesterday we made a pact, we made a promise. We are in the 18% club. Today we ensure you stay in it. And as you know, I'm Tessa-Marie, and your support system is your secret weapon. I never give up. I hold on to what is amazing, and I do not give up. When I know I'm doing something to win, I do not give up. So you need a support system for you to make sure that 18% you are counted amongst that January and December 31st, 2026. You're sitting watching the New Year's coming and say, I got this. I succeeded. I made all my dreams come true for this year. We talked about the 5 action steps yesterday. Today we dive deeper into step number 4, finding your accountability coach. Remember, I talked about the accountability coach. The pillars, this is about your mental pillar, focus, and your spiritual pillar, worthiness for support. You're worthy to get support. The mental pillar, the power of witness. That is what it is. Who is going to verify? Your diplomas is your verification you went to school. So in this case, you need the power of a witness. Who is going to be your witness? Let me enlighten you. Why do we ask a friend? Because our mental prosperity pillar gets foggy. We forget our why. Why are you doing this? A friend holds us and holds up the mirror and reminds us, that's why you're doing it. You said you wanted to succeed. That's why you're doing it. That's what a friend does. The challenge, though, is it's a challenge to ask for help. It really is. In many instances, I don't want anybody to know my business. I don't want anybody to know what's going on in my financial life or my situation or my love life or my job, right? But remember, you are worthy of support. You deserve it. You were born worthy. You need the support. You are not just a person with a goal. You are a human being on a mission of success. You were just placed on this earth to do the things that pulls at your heartstrings. What tugs at your heartstrings? What is it that when you plan it, you feel elevated, you feel stimulated, and you love that feeling? That's what you're asking help for. It's challenging to say, I need help. Whenever we do not know what to do and we ask for help, it's challenging. The action. Think of one person right now, someone you trust, who will inspire and encourage you and do not judge you. No judgment. You know, you don't want that person to say, well, when I saw you swiping your card in December, I knew you were going to be in a mess in January. No, that's judging. You know the one that will say, you know what, girl, I've been there before. You know what, guy, I was one of those with bad credit rating. But I pulled myself up by my bootstraps with the help and guidance of someone. So the spiritual pillar is asking for help. Educate. Asking for help isn't a weakness. No, it's not a weakness. It's a profound act of self-respect for your spiritual pillar. It says, my dream matters enough to involve another person to help it go together. We have heard this thing. 2 heads are better than one. You know, I love singing. No boys. 2 heads are better than one. Many hands make light work. We know all of those, but then, no, I don't want to. You deserve it. You're asking for help. My dream matters enough to involve another person to help me with this. How do you ask? How do you ask someone for help? Simply say, I am taking action on my 2026 resolution. Would you be willing to be my accountability coach for 10 minutes a week? 10 minutes a week. You think somebody will turn you down on that? No. That they won't turn you down. Just 10 minutes a week. All I need is for you to ask me one question. Did you do your 10 minutes today? That's all. Once a week, ask me that question. Once a week. And you say you can put it in your calendar so that you remember to do this for me once a week. Ask me if I did my 10 minutes today to watch my 2026 resolution. So I end up in the 18% that will have reached the resolution on December 31st, 2026. Can you say that? Do you plan to do that? You see, you can ask that person to do that for you. They will. There's always somebody, and there are other ways to do it too. If someone makes you feel guilty or shames you, they are not your accountability partner. If they say, I know you were going to mess it up again, you're doing that again, run. Like wild dogs are after you. That person is not an accountability coach for you or a partner. They are a leak in your emotional pillar. Set a boundary. That person that you go to and say, listen, you know what? I'm doing this. I really want to do my 2026 resolution. I want it to work. I want to get out of debt. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to take care of my health. I want to declutter my home. I need to find a new place. I need to save money. That person. And you go to them and they say, I got you, girl. I was there before you. You think I came by who I am today because I did not have to have an accountability coach? An accountability coach can come in any way in your life. You have to be careful because, for example, I took on to be my sister's accountability coach. And she still blames me for her success today. Can you believe that? She had to go back to university in NYU, and she was putting her feet in the water. It's too cold. It's too hot. And I said, you have to do this. And I painted a picture of a dream and a desire for her. And when she thought she was going to take one course and get in there, she ended up taking a full program. According to her, if she had continued, it would take 4 years. She did it in 3 years. And she still blames me for all those days, all those nights. But she confided in me. She wanted it. And that made her earn the kind of income she desired. But I had to be there with her. If somebody makes you feel guilty or shames you, they are not your accountability partner. They are a leak in your emotional pillar, and they set a boundary. Financial connections shared a vision of something with them. Share a vision. So share a vision of something with them, with whoever. And that's where the financial connection comes in. She was able to earn a huge income, more than her wildest dream. And if they ask her, do you have this? She said, I got it. I can do this. I am trained to do that in New York City. So you can imagine, do you know the fire laws of New York City, the act? Yes, I do. So you see what I mean? They test you. So they share your vision, say, this is what I did to be where I am. So listen to me. I got your back. I can help you. I I'm a person that is extremely disciplined. I can stick to whatever I choose just because of who I am. So at 51 years old, after having different type of careers to maintain my availability for my children and my home life, I decided, I'm working at the bank. I might as well go take this personal financial planning program. So I did. And it's a designation, so you carry it after your name. It was challenging, but I still have this white teapot. I would come home and organize. Anyway, I'd come home and I would go downstairs at 6 o'clock. And I always remembered my husband would be sitting there watching CNN and he would say, come see that. And I'll say, no, I can't see that. I can't come see it. He said, I know. You know why? They earned their money already. And with my teapot, my white teapot, my big book that was this thick, I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating. That is the old 9-course financial planning program. And a bag with nuts, raisins, and a bowl with nuts, raisins, and cheese. And I'm walking to the office to sit there and study for an hour. And all I could say to him, no, they earned their money already. I have to study so I can earn my money. And I would go there and I would study for an hour and click where I left off. If I'm doing a formula, I would continue. If not, if it's reading or memorizing, I would stop after 60 minutes. And then that's how I did it. But that is just because I had a thirst and a hunger for something and I held on to it. Do not give me a challenge and expect me to fail. I will not. I will hold on until there is nothing left in those fingers. So, if your resolution is financial saving, investing, starting a side business, any one of that, your accountability partner becomes your financial sounding board. There's somebody that has walked the walk and traveled that rocky cutting word that just cut their feet. Their shoes were worn out. When I was doing this at 51 years old and these people in their 30s were failing and coming to ask me for my notes, I felt really good that I could hand it to them. Even the woman that tried to keep me back came to me and said, can I have your notes? Because she realized I got distinction on my diploma. And she was my manager. I didn't have it though, because I'd already given it to somebody else. But she forgot the rope, the chain she tried to put across my feet. She wasn't a coach. She just wasn't a coach. She wasn't. And then all of a sudden the rules changed and everybody had to be a financial planner. So anyway, what I'm saying, a partner can help you see where your sustainable financial spending is going. And they'll say, you're spending more than you're making. Work on your goals to save money. Do it automatically. Take a course to learn something. You can sew. Do some sewing. You can knit something. Learn to do crafts. Go to a craft sale. I have a friend from Nova Scotia, I think is Nova Scotia. It's one of the eastern provinces. Candice. And Candice is at the market every Saturday selling her crafts. She does needlework and embroidery and all kinds of things. Her specialty might not be for everyone. She loves to do needlepoint with the human body. Not all the parts are there, but the curves of the body and the muscles are in her work. So it's unique, but she has a niche. And she is very good at it. So I encourage her. Whenever I say, Candice, I haven't seen anything new. I will ask her. I have never met her, but we are friends online. So the coach is the person that says, come on, you can do that, will cheer you on. They are external boundaries for you. So you have that friend that that's my external boundary. I can go as far as this person because I know that's where I'm stopping. They're going to be there. They'll shelter me. They'll help me. You see, a trusted friend, that is the thing people don't understand. A trusted friend will understand your situation. The trusted friend will say, you know something, I understand it's challenging, but I don't have the time. I can find somebody else who can help you. That person is going to be important. Georgette just came on and she said something. I learned that from you. Reggie always watches the news, LOL. I told him they're being paid. I had other tasks to accomplish. And Georgia said she learned that from me. Because you have things that you have to do. You cannot allow things or people or circumstances to detract you. I had to deal with that yesterday. Yes. I have been on social media. I did Facebook, so it must be about, Yuko can maybe say 8 years. I did Facebook before we come to Instagram and all of that. But I have never stopped. I never knew where it was going, but I knew I had a message. And as I put like my sister did, she put her foot into the idea of taking courses and get a brand new degree. I said the same thing to myself. I don't know anything about this thing, but I'm going to work on it. I have no idea what this is. I'm going to do something about it. So I stepped in it. Was it challenging? Was it awful? Yes, it was. Was it scary? Certainly, most certainly. Was it a total disaster in many instances? Most certainly. But did I let that stop me from pushing through? So anyway, because I am a consistent, persevering, focused, stick-to-itness, that is a word I put together on my own, stick-to-itness person, I never gave up. In the process, I met hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different people. Some of you are friends, and I've never seen your faces in person. Some of you have met. Lisa, that comes on. Lisa has taken me on 2 meetings to meet 2 young ladies from America, one in PA and one in New Jersey. My son was not too happy about the adventure, but, Lisa persisted, and the adventure, we did it, and we still, laugh about it. But let me tell you why I'm saying that. A few years ago, 5 years ago, somebody came and asked for direction and help, and I gave them everything. They became, somebody I met because they're in Canada, they're in Toronto. So, and they were already on a journey, financial journey, that was not properly done. And when they were ready to actually close on a condo, they couldn't make it because they did not really get them qualified with a bank. They got them a fake letter. And when they went, we don't know you. You can't do this. So they called me. And I had to work with them because I come from inside of the bank. I come from inside out. So I knew the things that you can do to enable you to qualify. He had Bitcoin. I said, you need to sell that. The girlfriend, I had already taken her from being a mouse and bring her to a very amazing woman. We placed her, she had a TD bank account. I said, go in, you might get a line of credit. She was able to do that, cash your Bitcoin, do this. And they had no idea. This person that sold them this condo just pulled the wool over their eye. And they're sitting there talking with me. And she said, so if he dies and I go to the bank, they'll give me the money? I said, what? You're not on the joint account? No. I'm saying, no. So you freeze. I said, no. A power of attorney dies when the person who gave it to you dies. You buying a condo, and why aren't you there? You're making more money than him because I got you to fix yourself, get you someone to help you to find a decent job, and here you are. So you see, So all of that I did. In the meantime, they stopped doing social media. So boundaries, I'm just talking about boundaries. So they went and they're no longer on social media. That's 3 years ago. So the thing is, now that they are very comfortable in the condo, the young man sent me a text and said he had an inspired moment that he wants me to do a live with him so that he can extend to others how his careers have soared and how he's so successful. And I gave him advice, but he wants to express his take on it, and and how he implemented it, and he put the word implementation, my own implementation, in caps. So it was a little bit nervy. I looked at it and I said, the thing is, I don't do one-on-one lives with people anymore. I don't do podcasts with that. I changed my business model since you have left and they never studied. They don't come on the lives. They don't have any Instagram. They cut all that off. So in the meantime, he knew me when I would do, Tessa, you want to do a live show? I jump up, Tessa-Marie, you want to do this? Yeah, because I was learning. So anybody who wanted me to participate on a live with them, I went because that was my food. I was learning. So I had to say no. I had to say, listen, what you want to do is great, but what I'm saying to you is this. Since you and your wife have no longer been on social media, I have changed my business model. I'm concentrating completely, and my curriculum is on my speaking engagements and my workshops that I get to go do. So I no longer do one-on-one lives or any kind of recording sessions with anyone. So I didn't say I'm sorry. I just said I wouldn't be doing a live with you. End of conversation. Because that's a boundary. You cannot assume, because I did this then, that 4 years later, you come crawling back because no, all of a sudden you want to do it. You can go and do it yourself. You can start the journey. You were on social media before. So you have to know when somebody wants a ride and they do not want to pay the fare, or when somebody actually needs help. It's a boundary setting. I had to be honest. I couldn't say, okay, I'll do it because it's you. No, I'm not doing it because it's you. That is the magic of the word no, is knowing that you can cut that off. And that's a boundary. So when somebody is going to chastise you because you failed before, or you had stopped your dream, goal, and desire before, and then this year you decided you need an accountability coach, and because you want to be the 18% of the world that actually make those resolutions happen, and the person is taking you down, that is not who you want in your backyard. If you are the one that always supplies the needs and the support for others, and sometimes people will just come to you and ask you for it over and over again because they know you'll always say no. But you have to be true to yourself with boundary setting. And if it doesn't feel good, it's not good. Do not put butter on it and say, well, a little bit of butter will help. Some grated hard cheddar will help. Parmesan, no. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't taste good. Let it go. So we have to learn that. The different was was it? No, but you have to do that. And then you're not left with something hanging over you. And, you cannot do that. You cannot swallow the pain and then I really don't want to. I don't do this anymore. The only person I do a live with is every other Sunday, and it's with Yuko when we do the Sunday self-care show. We started it 5 years ago. So we do it now. But anything else, I have stopped. So I had to make that perfectly clear. So there are two sides to the boundary setting. The person who is constantly telling you that you're not good enough, do not go to them for help. The person you are, and everybody comes expecting you to do what they're supposed to do for them, is not, and you stop. So you let it go. I no longer do one-on-one lives with people. I concentrate on building my business as I see it. It's not important to me to have 10,000 followers. That is not putting money in my pocket. So these are the things. If I have 10,000, oh yeah, thank you. But that's not why I do it. I do it because it tugs at my heartstring when people are not successful. It hurts me when a young person doesn't know what to do about money. It nags at me when people are afraid to talk about money with their children. It hurts me when I'm standing in line and a child has picked something up and put it on the belt, and the parents turn and said, you can't have it. We are not buying this. The money, they're just not going to do it. And the child retorts and says, put it on the credit card because you do that all with everything anyway. We need to have a conversation. Because I'm an 80s mother, the conversation would not be a smile. You're not going to get it. The conversation is, the car has no camera. Let's go in the car and have a talk about that. You know what I mean? So you can't do that today. So we won't be doing that today. So that's what happens. We need to talk about money with people, the value of money, where it comes from, what you have to do. Because we need to understand that we have to set boundaries in several different areas of our life. I think every day I get 10 marriage proposals. I don't respond. That's my boundary. I just leave it alone. I don't care. It doesn't matter because that's not what I want. I want to teach you. I want you to understand there is more to life than just doing one thing. 20% concentrating on your weight, you leave 80% of yourself behind. Emotionally, you're not there. Mentally, you're not there. Spiritually, although you did it, you still feel you're not good enough. Financially, you're not feeling good either. So any one of the pillars you're working on only is not enough. You must take all 5 to work. That is why the child, the man, what's his name, the Ford man, he's decided, I need an engine with 8 cylinders, but I want one piece. But there are 8 parts to making it work, but in one. So you are the one. The 5 pillars are the things that you have to make it, that will work in you. And as you know, I have my 5 pillars. Here's the 5 pillars here. So you're going to help others, help them. You need help,